5 towers. That is the first tower. And this is the second tower. The third one up there. 2 towers in that direction. All those towers were always manned by heavily armed sentries to make it a point that prisoners do not escape from this place. Right round this place, you see this fence. It is not an other fence, but a double fence. In between, you want to confine their dogs. That was another measure of making a point that prisoners do not escape from this place. Besides, as a prisoner, it was not easy to swim your way to Cape Town. That's why from 1964 up to 1991, not even a single prisoner made an escape from this place. So from here, we are going straight to F section, please. Let's proceed to F section. And we are in F section, the communal section. It consists of 4 communal cells. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This was used as an office of the section ward and the section guard. The gentleman was responsible for the whole of this section. This was our store. That's where we would store our cleaning material because as prisoners, we were responsible for cleaning this place ourselves. I spent the rest of my sentence in this section, in that cell. When I first came here in this section, I found that these cells were given names by prisoners who came before me. My surname is Mbata. I'll be writing this too. Remember, you are free to take care of this place, and you are also free to ask questions, but not difficult questions. Let me start by saying, this island was first occupied by our people. Thereafter, the island was occupied by the Dutch people. Dutch called this place Robben Island, which is full of seals. Robben being the Dutch word for seal. Thereafter, the island was occupied by the British, and they called this place Penguin Island, which is full of penguins. The prison was built in 1964. In this prison, only the white warders or guards who were employed in this place. In this prison, there were no female political prisoners imprisoned here, because female political prisoners were imprisoned in Kroonstad in the Orange Free State, another province. In this prison, there were no white political prisoners ever kept here. When Mr. Nelson Mandela was arrested, he was arrested together with our political people like Walter Sisulu, Gavin Bailey, Elias Nzwaledi, Andrew Blagini, Dennis Colbert, everybody is white. When they all brought here, it wasn't. Because all white political prisoners were imprisoned in Pretoria Central Prison. In this prison, there were only blacks, colors, and Indians, all males. From 1964 up to 1979. Prisoners in this prison were sleeping on the floor. Prisoners were sleeping on these types of mats. It was only in 1979 when the International Committee of the Red Cross provided all prisoners in this prison with beds. If you can imagine this cell with 2 rows of beds stretching up to the spot, there will be a prisoner who will be sleeping up there, another prisoner who will be sleeping down there, so 2 prisoners occupying a bed. When I first came here in this prison, down there the harbor escorted by warders still in chains, we were then taken straight to that office called reception office. That's where we were issued with prison tickets. From those tickets, that's what get your prison number. Because in this prison, your name and your surname cease to exist. while I was in that office, were not interested on your name or your surname, but they were interested on your prison number. That's why we say, it is in that office, in that reception office, where we lost our identities. You are somehow reduced to a non-living thing. I would like to show you the enlarged version of our prison ticket. This is the prison ticket of Mr. Pilinaya, the gentleman from Durban. His prison number is 69/64. What it means? It means that Mr. Pilinaya was prisoner number 69 to be imprisoned in this place in the year 1964. Hence his prison number is 69/64. Now let's take Mr. Mandela's prison number. That is 46664. In actual fact, it's 466/64 because Mr. Nelson Mandela was prisoner number 466 to arrive in this prison in the year 1964. Hence his prison number is 466/64, commonly known as 4664. Mr. Pilinaya was sentenced to 20 years in prison for sabotage. Remember that during those days of apartheid, if you were a political prisoner, you are not entitled to things like parole or remission. You would serve your sentence in full. And you can see for yourselves, Mr. Pilinaya was sentenced on the 28th February 1964 and released on the 27th February 1984, spending 20 years in this prison. Mr. Pilinaya is departed 10 years ago after a very long illness. Remember, he was in this prison from 1964 up to 1984, spending 20 years in this place. In the communal cells, like this one, we were fortunate to have our toilet inside the cell. This is the toilet for 50 prisoners on the cell. Takes up to 50 prisoners. But in the single cell section, they were picked up because toilets are situated outside the cells. So after that time, there was no way for prisoners in the single cell sections to have access to the restrooms. That's why prisoners in the single cells were using the bucket system. In B section, where we were going to, was a type of bucket which was used by prisoners in the single cell sections. Remember that in this prison, there were only blacks, colored Indians, all males. Because female qualified prisoners were held elsewhere, they were Kronstadt, and white qualified prisoners were incarcerated in Victoria Center. So in this prison, there were only blacks, colored Indians. But even inside this prison as prisoners, we were divided by the authorities on racial lines on the basis of this diet. This was the menu of this place. This was the diet, which was meant to divide prisoners on racial lines. On this side, this was the diet of the Indians and the colored worker prisoners. On the other side, you see the menu of the Bantus. Of course, the derogatory name, the name with negative connotation, it was referred to blacks like myself. Colors, people of mixed blood, were referred to as colored countries. They are referred to as mulattoes, Asiatics. They are referred to Japanese, Chinese, and the Indians were referred to as the Asiatics. Bantus, they are referred to black people, Holland and South. The Indians and the colored worker prisoners were given bread, but the black worker prisoners were given something called puzaman. I'll describe this puzaman as a soft porridge like grain which tasted, believed me, terror. The Indians and the colored one Carpusans had a choice either to have meal rice or sam, but the black Carpusans had no choice but to have meat. The Indians and the colored one Carpusans were given 6 ounces per person, but the black Carpusans were given 5 ounces per person. The Indians and the colored Carpusans had a choice either to have jam or syrup, but the black Carpusans had nothing. No jam, no syrup, sugar. 2 ounces for Indians and coloreds, 1.5 ounces for black prisoners. This was the menu of this place. This was the diet, which was meant to divide prisoners on racial lines. Prisoners in this prison were further divided on racial lines on the basis of clothing. The Indians and the colored Carpusans were given shoes, socks, long pants, their shirts, but the black Carpusans were only given short pants, shirts without shoes. Black Carpusans were trading in those quarries without shoes. After the regime was trying to employ an old strategy, the divide and rule strategy comes longer staying in power. But unfortunately, they did not succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an often secret that if one to rule people easily and deliberately, you divide it. You give others some privileges so that they'll see themselves as better than others. This was the menu of this place. This was the diet, which was meant to divide prisoners on a racial lines. These boxes of CDM used to call them lockers. So keep my belongings, things like books, stationery, stuff like what were studying. Prisoners were studied mainly by correspondence. The International Defense and Aid Fund, IDA, that international organization, was responsible for funding our studies in this prison. To study in this place, we had to first make an application to the study office, and if your application was approved by the others down then you had to study. But it was made clear when I first came here in this prison that studying in this prison was not a right, but a privilege that could be taken at any time without any notice. But even education in this prison was also used as another form of punishment. The shining example is the example of Mr. Nelson Mandela, because the prison authorities discovered his manuscript, buried in his garden for that. Mr. Nelson Mandela got 4 years of his studies suspended. I would like to say something about these two devices. See, you to call this intercomrades. If it happens that one of the inmates was not feeling well, he was sick, what is the do was to try and find the pan in the bathroom and then you will speak. He will go straight to the central office. But later we learned that these intercoms were also used to gather information from the cells to spy on us in this prison. That's why whenever we were discussing those serious sensitive issues, then we try and cover the documents and then be able to discuss whatever we're discussing without them to that cover. So they got a piece of blanket, you have a small box, put the paper inside the box and then you mouth in the salad. That's how the doctor is dropping. So from here, we are going straight to peace and Nelson Mandela. Please, let's proceed to peace.
Yeah.
Because in this prison of street section, what the permanent section was able to attempt to do, the key was discovered. What I wanted to tell the case, but the key was really working. But the same method was used by white podcast prisoners in Pretoria Central. Tim Jenkins, Mumbaris, I can't remember the deadline. They managed to escape and went to exile in Botswana. But here it was a different story because you could escape from these walls. But what about this dangerous cold ocean fraught with jump the gun? They are going to talk about it. And this that
was my question about Mr. Bakwetu and Robert Sobukwe.
Well, I don't talk about him.
Okay, no.
Because he was never here in this prison.
All right.
He was separate. I wanted to find out the last number of the prisoner here.
The last number should be 1991.
And what was the number of the prisoner?
Unfortunately, I was released in 1991 March, and the last one was released in 1991 April. In the photo, I was already out. Yes.
How many former prisoners are still with you?
There were about 14. 14. There were 14.
So all of the former guys are former prisoners?
Yes and no. In a sense that in the peak season, like when in November, December, they used to get some students from UCT and other universities to come and help us. So in time to come here, we find that we get students to narrate it from the place. And the other, we're getting old. We're not going to be here for long. Any more questions?
What was your number?
784. Yes.
How many prisoners did they keep here at any particular time?
In 1979, there were 1,200 prisoners here. Any more questions?
What do they did you sabotage?
Who said I did sabotage? okay, and I get the question. That's the charge. This photo in front of you, it is the photo of the former political prisoners. All these gentlemen you see here were all in the senior leaders, ranging from Clarence Magwet of the PAC, Raymond Mhlaba of the ANC, and Dimba Toiva, leader of SWAPO. Remember, they didn't talk about SWAPO. Yes. Because if you are a tour guide, that's what they're going to talk about. One day you'll remember this. And then, of course, Meg Mahad of the ANC, obviously, this gentleman from Botswana. You remember the name? I remember his name. He was from Botswana. I remember his name. And this is the photo of this place, this section courtyard. Here, prisoners were crushing stones during that period of hard labor. This is Mr. Nelson Mandela and his great mentor, great confidant, Walter Sisulu, the boat leader. The photo was taken in 1966. From that black pole down at that area there, used to be the garden of Mr. Nelson Mandela. That's where the manuscript was found buried. Fortunately, that manuscript was the second manuscript, because the first manuscript was already smuggled out of this prison with the signs of a lawyer. When Mr. Mac Maharaj, the gentleman here, was released in this prison in 1976, he then transported that manuscript to London, where it was printed and published, as well as the book titled Long Walk to Freedom by Mr. Nelson Mandela in this country. In the year 1976, we had what was called Soweto uprisings, when those young students who were fighting against that system of education, which was meant to make black people nothing but slaves. Some of those students were shot at and killed. Some of And this is the cell of Mr. Nelson Mandela. The cell depicts the period from 1964 up to 1979, when all prisoners were stationed on the floor. Remember, after 1979, all prisoners were given birth, including Mr. Nelson Mandela. It all started in 1979. I was only 19 years of age when I was a member of the Congress of South African Students. During those days, as black students in this country, we were fighting against that system of education, which was designed by Professor Aiselen and Dr. Henry Verwoerd, those architects of apartheid, to make blacks in this country nothing but slaves. But unfortunately, when we were protesting, demonstrating peacefully against that system of education, the response from the regime was always negative because we were tear-gassed, baton charged. We were telling the change to be tortured, and some of our students were even killed. Then it was clear to me at an early stage that fighting apartheid, using only peace method of struggle, it was ineffective. That's why in 1981, when I was 21 years of age, I left this country. Through Swaziland, I was in Mozambique. From Mozambique straight to Angola. That's where I was trained militarily to come and participate in this country. From Angola back to Zambia. From Zambia to Botswana. I entered this country again from Botswana to Botswana. I was operating in Soweto up until I was arrested in 1984 when I was 24 years of age. When I was taken to Soweto, I was then taken straight to Protea police station in Soweto. That's where I was detained. Under Section 29, the Internal Security Act, where you were detained for not less than 6 months. To me, those 6 months detention were like 100 years because in detention, life was very tough. In detention, you consider yourself as fortunate if you came out of that place still alive because so many activists were killed in detention. In detention, I was severely tortured, both physical and psychological. It was really tough. You know, I cannot start to begin to tell you the type of torture I was subjected to while in detention. That's why to me those 6 months detention were like 100 years. But it was even worse with our female comrades. You know, the police or the special branch, they did unspeakable things to our female comrades in detention. Things that I can't mention here in front of today, but that's why I respect and salute all those female comrades who were in the forefront in the battle against apartheid, because some of them, they still suffer today because of the type of torture that was administered to them whilst in detention. After 6 months in Protea police station in Soweto, it was in court number 15, August 15, when I was sentenced to 7 years in prison under what they term as terrorism. On my charge sheet, charges were leaving this country illegal, entering this country again illegal, being the member of the then entity ANC, the African National Congress, and its military wing the spear of the nation, in Angola, found the Program mission, furthering the aims of our military wing I was then sentenced to that term in prison 7 years in a nutshell. Those are the reasons why I was in this prison. I left this place in 1991, looking here as a guide, only in 2005. This is the end of my story. In conclusion, though we suffered so much in this prison, but we bear no grudges. We pride ourselves with one of the best policemen in the whole world. I think in this country, We are blessed to have leaders like Mr. Nelson Mandela, who taught us about the need of reconciliation here in this country for the benefit of our children, the benefit of our country, and our whole nation. This is the end of our tour. I'll show you your way out, and then you'll be free from my prison.
Because from where I am, it's behind the tombstone. I can't see it, or the headstone. We have Springboks on the island. We have to the island here in 1977, 8 years after his release. We had German Shepherds, Labradors, Ridgebacks, one dog kennel, a little bit bigger than the cells that you saw in the B section. So the cell of President Mandela is smaller than one dog kennel. They kept one dog in each kennel. Dogs had ranks, like a colonel, a major, major general. Their ranks went according to the rank of the dog handler. If you are a colonel, your dog will be a colonel. If you are a general, it will be a general. Now, to make sure that you don't abuse it or misuse it, the officials, what they will then do, they will rank the dog one notch above you. So in a way, you would be a subordinate to your dog. Did you try to take a photo?
No, I wouldn't, because I know what I want to take. I know exactly what I want to take, how I want to take the pictures. The subject is important also.
Okay then, the limestone quarry. This is where the leaders worked. 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. The reason they began working here, the leaders, they were told that the lime sand that they would get from here would be used to pave the roads that you do have on the island. They were told that they'd be here for 6 months, but they ended up being in here for months. It blocked their tear glands. Some of them, when they are crying, they can't produce tears. In 1997, President Mandela had to remove
Yeah, he overtook us also. Table Mountain.